Welcome to the Journey Travel Podcast. My name is Michael.
And I'm Robert.
So, today we're going to talk about altitude sickness. We have a lot of clients that are always asking how to deal with altitude sickness, how to avoid altitude sickness. So, basically, there are some steps that you can take to make the period that it takes to get used to the altitude much easier.
It usually takes at least the first couple of days that you actually get there to really get acclimated.
Right, being there soon. Before, if you're going to take a trek, for example, you can't just arrive in Cusco and say, I want to take the Inca Trail the same day.
Yeah.
First, you're going to be pretty tired. The Inca Trail starts very early, and you have to wait until your body is used to high elevation. Going from sea level to about 10,000 feet is not easy. It's pretty taxing on the body. So we're going to go over a list of a few things that might help. And we're going to start with your general fitness level.
Yeah. So regarding fitness, you don't exactly have to be a triathlon runner or something like that. But it is better if you have at least a little bit of an exercise background, right? So maybe you run a few times a week in the mornings. Maybe you go to the gym a couple of times a week. All of these kinds of things really help, right? Maybe you do some kind of sport, maybe play basketball or soccer. Really anything that really works out your cardiovascular system.
Right. Like Robert said, you don't have to be a professional athlete. You don't have to be a gym rat that's there all day, every day. But in general, having some cardiovascular exercises in your routines helps. In general, if you're a little bit overweight, maybe cutting a few pounds before arriving to Cusco would also help. For some reason, people that have a little bit of extra weight on their body have a tougher time of dealing with altitude, and especially if you're going to hike at some point, altitude plus being a little bit overweight and weak knees just do not mix.
Yeah, exactly. And well, basically anybody who doesn't do any exercise will obviously have a little bit of a problem, but it's not nothing that really will stop you from taking a trek, right? So just make sure to have at least some activity, right? If you're taking the trek maybe like 3 months down the line, maybe if you don't do anything, maybe start up running twice or 3 times a week, and this should set you up perfectly for your actual trek, right? Us personally, well, for me, Robert, I train about 3 or 4 times a week, and every time I go, well, my body's already used to it. But the first time I went, it was a bit difficult the first day, but the second day I felt almost perfect.
Right. I've been in altitude several times, done several of the treks, if not all of them. And I was in Cusco October of 2017, and even after all that experience, still I had a bit of altitude sickness while I was in Cusco. Nothing too bad. I just felt like there was a lot of pressure on me. And
right. I think you went with your girlfriend, right?
I went with my girlfriend.
How did she take the altitude?
She had never been in altitude, so she suffered quite a bit for the first couple of days. But after that, she was okay. For me personally, being in altitude dries out my nasal passages.
It makes it a little bit harder to breathe, really.
Yeah, so...
That's all the pressure, the changes in humidity, things like that. It's highland weather.
It's highland weather, exactly. Yeah. But so that's my most recent experience. It's always good to have some kind of altitude experience, maybe before coming to Cusco, because 10,000 feet is not easy. And if you are trekking, you're eventually going to hit 15 to 16,000 feet, depending on which trek you take to Machu Picchu. So maybe having some kind of experience somewhere else would help.
Exactly. Especially, well, there's a bunch of treks you can take, right? But if you take the Salcantine, one day you actually do reach around 16,000 feet, I believe. And that day can be a little harsh in the beginning, but around the end you start going back down and you feel fine. Right? Previous altitude experience, I think recently we had some other clients who had been to Colorado, things like that, so they didn't really have too much of acclimation period, right? Just the first day, and really by the late afternoon, they were fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? But any altitude experience is would really help, obviously, right? Other than that, you really have to look out to see what you're eating, right?
Correct.
You don't want to eat anything too heavy the days leading up to your trip, or even once you get there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Eating too heavy could actually slow you down. It slows down your metabolism because, like we said, you're at a higher altitude, so every little thing will affect you differently, right?
Correct. Your meals, your first day meals or your most recent meals in Cusco should be light. You should not be binging on Peruvian food is delicious.
Yes,
It is
that's
delicious. Some of the best cuisine in the world. Some people think it's the best cuisine in the world. But, well, back to the point that you can binge on anything on the days leading to a trek, for example. Um, if you do get altitude sickness, you might vomit. Um,
true.
and so eating light, salads, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, it's really going to help.
Yeah. So once you actually get there, you'll see a bunch of restaurants. That first day, just try to restrain yourself a bit. Don't eat any of the alpaca. It's delicious, but it's going to be very heavy, right? So, like as Mike said, drink plenty of water. They even give you a special tea made out of coca leaves. It really helps with altitude sickness. And if all else fails, you can always take a pill. They have a brand there that's called Sodochi pill. It's for Sodochi, which is altitude sickness, right? But you can take other things such as aspirin or Tylenol, things like that, right? That could also help.
Right. And then we can go to first day activities. First day activities are really important. Many times people arrive in Cusco and immediately they want to check into their hotel and they want to go out and see the city. It's a beautiful city. And of course, you want to go out there, you're on vacation, you want to see the cathedrals, the museums, you want to meet the people, taste the food.
And some people want to go out to the nightclubs. We suggest that first day, do not go to the nightclubs.
Right.
Do not take any alcohol. Do not go dancing, things like that. At most, maybe check into your hotel, rest a bit, maybe go out for a walk, maybe like a 20-minute walk, to help you get acclimated as well. But try not to do anything that takes too much energy.
Right. And, I mean, a glass of wine is fine, but
Yeah.
definitely no pisco sours.
Yeah,
That's
pisco
what
sours.
you have in mind. So a lot of water,
No beer.
no beer. Yeah, a little bit of walking, but nothing too strenuous. We recommend everybody to check into their hotel, take it easy, have some water, rest for a bit, and go out on a light walk for the first day. And that's about it.
Exactly. Oh, one more thing. This is a little bit off topic, but this is something everyone should know. Never take brand new trekking shoes for your trip, okay? A lot of our clients have had problems with this before. They buy brand new shoes, and their feet get
Blistered.
hurt and destroyed. So if you do get new ones, try to wear them in at least a month in advance, and you'll be fine for your trek, fine for those first few days, for the entire trip, basically, right?
Yep. So these have been some tips on how to avoid altitude sickness for when you arrive in Cusco.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want to add?
No, that's basically it, really. So, for me and Michael here at Journey Machu Picchu, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. Check us out on our webpage at journeymachuPicchu.com. Thank you for everything. I am Robert.
And I'm Michael. So have a great day.
Bye.